In this series of lessons, we're going to be talking about content. In this particular lesson, we're going to be talking about how jQuery Mobile styles your HTML markup by default. Now, normally browsers will assign defaults to different HTML tags. For example, your H1 is a certain size and your H2 is slightly smaller. jQuery Mobile adds a little bit of styling in order to give you some good solid defaults to push up against. So let's go ahead and look at this document. Here I've gone to jQueryMobile.com and I've clicked on the documentation link to get us to the content area in HTML formatting. You can either copy and paste this URL or you can navigate to it manually in order to get the page that corresponds to the most recent version of jQuery Mobile. Here they've given us a number of simple elements, H1 through H6, some paragraphs, strong, EM, a link, and also a block quote, a cite, and a table down here. They also give us list elements, both unordered and ordered list elements. Now we can go ahead and right-click on any of these elements and say Inspect Element. Remember, you have to be in a WebKit browser or in Firefox with Firebug installed to get the Inspect Element option. If you're in Internet Explorer or another browser that doesn't have that option, go ahead and switch over to Chrome right now if you're following along. Now that we're inspecting the page, we can choose any of these elements and see what our style sheets are doing versus what the browser is doing. On this part of our right-hand side pane, we can see that these two CSS properties are being set by the user agent style sheet. What that means is, in my case, Google Chrome is setting these properties. It's also setting list style type to disk, and that you can see is in this rule, also from the user agent style sheet. Now, different browsers have different user agent style sheets. For the most part, you can trust that they're the same, but that's the reason that we ever use CSS resets. Now, down below, you can see font family, color, and text shadow are being set by jQuery.mobile.css. That right there is jQuery Mobile's style sheet. You can also, of course, see the line number of that style sheet. You may notice that the color is not set to black, it's set to 333. That's a dark gray. If we click around to a couple of other elements, we can see similar kinds of things. Our user agent style sheet and our jQuery Mobile style sheet down here. If we click on block quote and we go inside to cite, we can see that our inline elements also have user agent style sheets and jQuery Mobile style sheets. Same with this definition list down here and this table. Now you'll notice that a lot of the things that jQuery Mobile style sheet adds are things that are inherited between elements. Things such as font family, where if you set the font family on a parent element, that font family declaration will actually be inherited by the children. That's why you don't see table anywhere in this list of selectors. You just see UI body C, UI body C input, etc. And in fact, if you look for UI body C, you can see that this entire page element gets a class of UI page, UI body C, UI page active. And so because it has UI body C, this rule applies to it. And because all of these elements are all children of the page, they all get that property declaration applied to them as well. Same goes for color, and same goes for this subtle text shadow that's on everything. So that's a quick rundown of HTML formatting in jQuery Mobile. They give you a couple smart defaults to build from, but keep in mind, if you don't like any of their defaults, you can always change the defaults by overriding them with your CSS or by modifying their style sheet. They also have a theming system to help you do this. We have an entire series of lessons on theming, so if you'd like to check that out, go watch those lessons. That concludes this lesson.